Hello. I had to write a sermon for my pagan clergy training course, and for my sermon, I thought I would base it on the hymn of Inanna and Ebih and explore themes of environmental justice, using this literary text as the basis for my message. Like most pagan deities, Inanna can be seen as an embodiment of certain aspects of nature. With all of her complexity and her contradictory aspects, Inanna's presence can be felt in many aspects of the natural world. She is best known as a goddess of love, associated with sexuality and fertility, not just in relation to her human worshippers, but in animals, plants, and the land itself. She was possibly originally worshipped as a grain goddess who ensured the fertility of the land and a bountiful harvest. She is an astral deity, embodied in the planet Venus. In her warlike aspect, she has been described as storm, flood, and destroyer of mountains. She is a union of opposites between the structure and order of human civilization and the untamed wilderness. Ancient humans perhaps first entered into relationship with her in the development of agriculture. She granted fertility to the land and gave them the knowledge and ability to leverage the resources granted by the natural world to increase their food production, which in turn allowed them to build greater civilizations. Essentially, we owe our civilizations and our existence to nature. But in turn, she demands our care and respect. It's a two-way street, and that's true whether you conceptualize nature through a mythologic lens or not. But as pagans, we recognize myths as literary tools meant to tell deeper truths, rather than to recount literal historical events. They give us the language to think about things much, much bigger than ourselves. So whatever your beliefs, let's think about how we relate to the planet that gives us life through Inanna's sacred stories. I know that I personally feel the most connected to her in the liminal spaces between human civilization and the natural world. For example, while I'm walking through the metro parks cleaning up litter, I feel her presence there with me. The metro parks are part of the natural world, but they are also parks created and maintained by humans as part of the local community. Another example is out here in the garden. I planted the garden, slowly replacing the pointless grass lawn that came with the house, but nature still plays its part. And each year since I put it in, I've been letting nature take over a little bit more and more each year. Nature and civilization are completely intertwined in the modern era, much, much more than they were 4,000 to 5,000 years ago. So now, more than ever, it is our responsibility to care for the earth and to make sure we aren't just taking and taking from her without giving anything back. We need to take a more active role in fixing the mistakes we've made and in undoing the damage we've done before it is too late. As a society, we've lost our spiritual link to the natural world. We treat her as mere commodities to be exploited, bought, and sold, something separate from ourselves. But we are a part of her. We cannot exist without nature. Our bodies, spirits, souls are inextricable parts of the natural world. We need to care for the planet as we care for ourselves. I see Inanna in part as a representation of the union between humankind and the rest of nature. She can be conflated with nature itself. And though she is a goddess of infinite love, She is also not one to take insults lightly. Nature is beautiful and inspiring. Nature provides, but it is also a force to be reckoned with. Like Inanna, nature demands to be shown proper reverence and respect. In the myths, we see that Inanna is very quick to right the wrongs against her. In the hymn of Inanna and Ebih, the mountain Ebih insulted her and refused to show her proper respect, and so she destroyed it. Inanna announced, "When I, the goddess, was walking around in heaven, walking around on the earth, when I, Inanna, was walking around in heaven, walking around on earth, when I was walking around in Elam and Subir, when I was walking around in the Lulubi Mountains, when I turned toward the center of the mountains, as I, the goddess, approached the mountain, it showed me no respect. As I, Inanna, approached the mountain, it showed me no respect. As I approached the mountain range of Ebeh, it showed me no respect. Since they showed me no respect, since they did not put their noses to the ground for me, since they did not rub their lips in the dust for me, I shall personally fill the soaring mountain range with my terror. Against its magnificent sides, I shall place magnificent battering rams. Against its small sides, I shall place small battering rams. I shall storm it and start the game of holy Inanna. In the mountain range, I shall start battles and prepare conflicts. I shall prepare arrows in the quiver. I shall sling stones with rope. I shall begin the polishing of my lance. I shall prepare the throw stick and the shield. I shall set fire to its thick forests. I shall take an axe to its evil doing. I shall make Gilwal, the purifier, bare his holy teeth at its watercourses. I shall spread the terror through the inaccessible mountain range, Errata. Like a city which An has cursed, may it never be restored. Like a city at which Enlil has frowned, may it never again lift up its neck. May the mountain tremble when I approach. May Ebih give me honor and praise me. And now, in the present day, in the real world, we are seeing the very same thing. What greater insult is there to nature, to the goddess herself, than the way we are treating the planet right now? We continue to destroy the planet. We keep taking and taking and taking our non-renewable natural resources. We pollute our ecosystems, destroying our rivers and air and soil. Species are becoming extinct at the hands of our own species. What is that if not the ultimate insult to the goddess? We show her no respect. We've gone to war against our own mother and expect her not to fight back. And what is happening now? Our actions have led to climate change, and we are experiencing extreme weather patterns. We're seeing a pattern of stronger storms, flooding, droughts, and wildfires. And it is all a direct response of our impious actions toward the earth. Perhaps when religions talk about their deity's wrath for disobedience or impiety, it is really meant to be a metaphor for what happens when we refuse to live in harmony with nature, our creator. If we harm the planet and the ecosystems that we are all a part of course there are going to be consequences. The planet is going to fight back to try to restore equilibrium. The mistress, in her rage and anger, opened the arsenal and pushed on the lapis lazuli gate. She brought out magnificent battle and called up a great storm. Holy Inanna reached for the quiver. She raised a towering flood with evil silt. She stirred up an evil, raging wind with potsherds. My lady confronted the mountain range. She advanced step by step. She sharpened both edges of her dagger. She grabbed Ebih's neck as if ripping up esparto grass. She pressed the dagger's teeth into its interior. She roared like thunder. The rocks forming the body of Ebih clattered down its flanks. From its sides and crevices, great serpents spat venom. She damned its forests and cursed its trees. She killed its oak trees with drought. She poured fire on the flanks and made its smoke dense. The goddess established authority over the mountain. Holy Inanna did as she wished. So if she can bring us into this world, she can certainly take us out. But it doesn't have to be that way. We can turn things around. It's going to take a lot of work and a lot of sacrifices to our current way of life. But perhaps if we can start to give her the respect she deserves and demands, maybe we can cool her raging heart. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.